Hey guys, Brandon here with RAVEK. We're going to walk you through the installation today on this 2025 Polaris Ranger. We've condensed the installation of it, making it the easiest, smoothest kit to install. The Apex lights as well as the kit comes with a lifetime warranty, and your installation process probably take you an hour and a half, depending on how good you are and how handy that 10mm is. So let's get started. All right, so the first step we're going to do is remove the hood. Underneath the hood is where we're going to mount the controller, right underneath the bus bar, right on the passenger side of the machine. Next step, we're going to take our push pin pullers and start removing the center console area. As well as the dash. We're removing this so you can gain access to the back of the pins for your dash indicators. All right, we can remove this panel now. There are two clips right here that the panel has to come up and then slide out in order to be easily removed. This dash here comes out nice and easy. In the back, you grab your pins. Again, this is for your dash indicator light, which we'll do at a later step. We're gonna set this off to the side. I'm going to use my handy dandy little light here. This is one of my favorite tools in the garage, especially working where you need some additional light. We're going to get on here and start taking our push pins out of the floor on each side. We're doing this so you can access the tunnel, and that's where we're going to be routing the rear wires. Good golly, Miss Molly. If you have an HVAC system, you will also need, when you remove this, to remove the HVAC hose to disconnect it, and we'll be able to remove the center portion. There are two hidden ones that are behind here that get mounted on the back side, which are tough to get into, but we'll get them out. Next step is to remove the center console area of the machine. Again, if you have an HVAC system, there will be a hose down here that will need to be disconnected in order to remove this portion of it. We'll set this off to the side. Now we have a clear path that'll basically come from the front of the machine down through the tunnel and to the rear of the machine. We'll now disconnect the battery. It's always important to disconnect the negative battery cable first. Jump to the positive. All right, so we've now made all of the interior removal process that we need to do. If you have a 4-seat model, of course, you'll have to remove the back section as well. What I hold in my hand is the 8-pin harness. This is the heart of your machine. Flip the dump bed up. The connection you're looking for is right back here, attached to the top. Separate it. And this is where you're going to make all of your key connections for your turn signal kit, making it nice and easy for you to of course, make those connections. And it's going to make running the wires a snap. There we go. All the connections back here will be connected in. You have your left and right, your main harness here. You have your license plate harness, as well as additional Apex light plug-ins. So if you choose to add additional Apex lights to the machine, this is where you're going to make your connection. All right, folks, the next step, again, we have our controller. It's going to get mounted right at the bus bar. We are going to take our pre-loomed wires here and run them through the machine. Now, fun fact, if you have a 4-seat model, we do have an extension harness for the rear, giving you enough wire for the rear harness without giving you too much if you have a 2-door. Just slide these right through the firewall grommet. And then what I'll do is I'll go into the machine to pull them out. All right, once we've got the rear wire routed through the grommet, we're going to do the front 2 directional harnesses. These directional harnesses are going to let you know what your turn signal is doing. Turn signal kit, even though it is auto canceling, it is still nice to see in your dash what your turn signals are on or off. We'll go into the inside here. Here are the connections that I'm pulling through. And this rear one is going to run all the way through the tunnel of the machine, all the way to the rear 8-pin harness we previously installed. And the connector is easily connected. Now, whenever I'm running wires, I usually try to route through and follow the OEM wires. We're going to come back and zip tie them to these wires once we get everything connected. Route this to the back of the machine. Again, always looking to make sure you don't have any hot or moving components when you're routing your wires. And there's your rear connection. Again, if you had a 4-seat model, you could use the extension harness, and that would provide you enough wire to get back there. So the next thing we're going to do is pin our dash indicators. Again, when you're looking at this, some people look and go, I ain't doing that. It's really not that hard. We split it open here, and in the inside they're numbered, and we're looking for terminal 6 for the right hand side and terminal 7 for the left. I'm just going to pull these pins out, these little blue pins. You can use a small screwdriver or a pick. And to make it easier, all you have to do is take this little detent pin here, push it in on both sides, and it allows you to remove the alignment clip. Again, left hand side goes into pin 7. As we're sliding these in here, you can see the pin sliding through into the slot, and it'll click into place. You get pin number 6 for the right hand side. Again, making sure everything's in place, which it is. You can slide this cover back in. That's it. Not too hard. Again, people look at it thinking that it's going to be really tough to do. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. All right, folks, next step, install our switches. Whenever I go through to install the switches, I always think about where is it easiest for me to reach them. If I'm driving with my left hand, is it the right-hand side? If your right-hand driver is the left-hand side, we're going to choose to mount these over here on the right-hand side of the dash. Taking our good old utility blade, we're going to take and cut these knockouts out, starting in the top corner, and just working your way down. Again, you don't want to cut too far past, and you also want to make sure that there's nothing behind that you could be cutting into. Just that simple. Set that off to the side. We're going to choose to mount our turn signal switch in this one. Pulling this through, grabbing it. What we're going to do eventually is going to be routing this up through the grommet, which I can show you how easy that is. We're already through. You should be able to read RAVEK on the controller. That way you know you're orientated right. There's our first switch. All right, second knockout is done. We're now going to put the horn hazard switch in. Again, we're going to route it through here. Just to show you how simple it is, I'm going to route it up into the front of the machine, right through the grommet. Now I'll pull this in. Whenever I'm thinking about where to hide wires, we always want to make sure we leave you enough wire, but not too much wire. I always think about where I'm going to hide them when I'm doing it. And this one here, we're going to actually... Ooh. There we go. We're going to take these and we'll just zip tie these up behind the dash here. So we're down to where we just have the front lights to install yet. This is a 2025 XP1000. Our Apex lights will mount right directly in here. We'll show you that here in the next step. We're going to take our front left and our front right wires, which are labeled. We're going to route the left-hand side down by the left-hand side of the bumper. You might find it handy to actually lift up these clips in order to remove that front bumper piece. You can either remove it, which we'll do here, or just flip it forward. Using one of the holes here, we're going to take and put it in on the left-hand side. We'll take one to the right-hand side and do the same thing. Again, you want to just make sure you're keeping it away from the radiator as much as possible. Just preventative, obviously. Both left and right wires now. We'll be able to take and make the connections down here and plug these in. Before I do that, we have our horn harness and our horn. We're going to actually mount the horn right inside here on the front leading edge. That way it's right in the front of the vehicle. We'll take the T40 wrench, remove this, and we'll make our connection into this. In our T40, this is the chosen location that we would recommend for mounting your horn, close enough to the outside of the vehicle, yet inside and protected. Horn harness. Taking the back side, making our connections, aligning it, and then installing the bolt. There, should be good and loud. We have our connection here that we'll start making into the other harnesses in that. So we have our relay, which pulls the power for the horn, excuse me. Make our connection here. We also have a horn connection on the controller, which is already installed. We can install that. We have our front left and right harnesses all installed. So basically we're down to just installing the turn signal switch wire and the horn hazard wire. So again, they're labeled hazard switch to hazard switch. We're gonna make that connection. I always try to route my wires underneath as well to where you can hide them and tuck them in to where they're out of sight. You can see each of them is easily labeled and identified. Last connection that we need to make is for our pulse bar. Polaris offers a nice little plug-in here that we can utilize from our harness. Choose an open bus connection. If you have all of these 8 up, RAVEK does offer a party bus bar that allows you to have additional accessories put on. All right, we're gonna mount the license plate bracket, or at least plug the wires in. This is a used unit from a dealer, so we don't know where they're gonna wanna put it, so we will let them mount it. But you have your positive and your negative here, black to black, red to red. Pretty simple plug and play here. And again, it's gonna give you enough wire to get back there. These plugs again are if you want to have additional apex lights to the rear of the machine, which most people do, mounting them up higher. This is where they will come into play. So we're making the connections here. Again, it's black to black, white to red. This is a dealer vehicle, so we don't know where the consumer is going to want to install their license plate bracket, so we're going to let them install it. Fun little fact, it comes with a built-in bottle opener. Okay, you're nearing the end of your install. All of your wiring is in place. It is now a time to install our apex light with the bumper mount. What I hold in my hand is the nut that will go through the pins or the prongs on the back side of the bumper, and will basically, with the nut pointing away from the machine, be able to install it into place. You'll need to utilize your 10mm socket, aligning this up into the center of the bumper, and install your screws. All right, so I found my 10mm socket. It's time to go to work. And again, depending on the fitment you have, we will pre-assemble as many items as possible when it comes to mounting your apex lights. Again, this one does come with a bumper mount for your 25 and newer Polaris Rangers. We're gonna make our connection down here. And then, of course, whatever remaining wire you have, we'll pull up and tidy up into the engine compartment. All right, you master installers, it is now time to check out these new Apex lights. Let's turn them on. Got our front right turn signal, front left turn signal. We have our 4 ways, and of course, the almighty horn. Well, there you have it, folks. I've walked you through the overview of installing this on our Polaris Ranger, showing you the turn signal installation, showing you the horn hazard, as well as the dash indicator pinning. Should have taken all the worries out of it. This kit, again, does come with a lifetime warranty. Should you have any questions during your install, make sure you reach out to us. We're based out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin. We're here to help. Check us out online or at your local retailer.